Greetings to all, and now in this video lecture we are going to discuss about classification of signals. And as per the syllabus, the second topic is the classification of signal, in which we are going to discuss about continuous and discrete type of signal, and then energy and power signal. Even though we are having so many classifications on signal, we are in as per syllabus we are having only these two types of signals. So now we'll see the available classifications on signal. So starting from continuous time, discrete time signal, and second one is periodic and aperiodic or non-periodic signal. Third one is causal or non-causal signal. Fourth one deterministic and random signals. Fifth one even and odd signals, and last one energy and power signals. So the first and last one is in our syllabus. So we are going to discuss more on the continuous time, discrete time signal, and then energy and power signals. So the continuous time signal and discrete time signals, or we can say we already have seen this one on the very first introduction on the classification of system, but still again we'll have a look on this continuous time and discrete time signals. We can say that continuous time signals are either it may be of a real number or a complex values as a function of one or more than independent or dependent variables, and it is going to have a time range of real numbers, and we are going to represent that as x of t. Here the bracket is different, this parenthesis is different, and whereas for discrete time axis again it may be of either real or complex values. It is going to be a function of independent more than one single or more than single independent variables, or sometimes it may depend on some dependent variables, and the range will be of integers. Integer in the sense whole numbers. It will not be having any intermittent value between two whole numbers, and we can denote this discrete time signal as x of n. We can see the difference between the x of t and x of n's representation. So we have to follow this representation throughout this paper. X of t will be in parenthesis and x of n will be in a square bracket. And we can say this as x of t because we are having the continuous value throughout the entire time range, but whereas for x of n we are not having any value in between any such whole numbers. And second one is periodic and non-periodic signals, and the expression for this one is that we can say that as a property. Suppose if we are going to add some additional period with the signal, and that extra period should be equal to the original signal. Already we are consider that we are having a original signal as sin t, and now we are going to check the same sin t after some interval. Okay, and that interval we are representing in capital T, that is period, and that both representation, that is magnitude, should be equal. If the property satisfies, then that type of signal we can say as periodic signals, or else we can say as non-periodic signal. So the best example will be of u of n, sin theta, cos theta. Everything will come for examples for periodic signals. And here we are having this sawtooth triangle wave, and it is having the same similarity even though after some particular time period. So this similar fashion we can say as a periodic signals. And but whereas here we are not having any such repetition of that original first wave shape, so we can say that as a non-periodic signal. And the third type is causal and non-causal signals. And if we are having a signal only from t to positive infinity, that is we are having signal only on the positive x-axis, we can say that type of signal as causal signal. So or else we can say the signal will be 0 for the time period less than 0. It is only we will be having signals or values only for right-handed side of x-axis. That type of signal is causal signal. And whereas non-causal means we will be having value only for the time period starting from 0 to minus infinity. That means we will be having values only on the left handed side of x-axis. So that type of signal we can say as a non-causal signal. And here the very first one is we are having values only from 0 to t, that is we are having only on the right side. It means we can consider that as a positive half of a x-axis. So that type of signal is causal signal. And the second signal is we are having the same thing, but we are having magnitude only for the negative axis, so that is non-causal. And we can say this also an example for time folding. Here we are having on signal on the positive side, but here we are having the same signal on the negative side with respect to origin. So we can say this also for example of time inversion or time folding. So next type of signal classification is deterministic and random signal. Deterministic in the sense we can define or we can write an equation for a particular type of signal. So that type of signal we can say as a deterministic signal. So it will not change even though if there is any changes in the time period. So it is predictable for any time period. So that type of signal is a deterministic signal, and the exact opposite to that deterministic signal is a random signal. So say for example sine 3t. Sine is a known value. We are having some expression. Sine is a expression. This is a mathematical equation, right? So we can say that sine, cos and e of t, r of t, everything as a deterministic signal, because we are having some pattern. So for any time period we can write this waveform as a sine wave or as a cos wave. Right, so we can say this type of wave pattern as a deterministic signal. And this is the thermal noise. It is a capture of thermal noise, and this is we can say that as an example for non-deterministic, that is random signal. And another example is a noise what we are getting while talking on over with landline. That time we will be having some extra noise, or we used to hear some crosstalk, and that type of signal we can call that as a random signal, because we cannot predict that signal with respect to time. We cannot write an equation, we cannot express that type of noise in the form of an expression or mathematically. So that type of signal is a non-deterministic or random signals. So next one is even and odd signal, and we are having some expression for continuous time period. The known given value is x of t. If you are going to equate with that x of minus t, both has to obey. If so, we can say that type of signal as even signal. And the second one is for a discrete type of signal, and this is nothing but the expression for denotation for time folding. So normal signal we have to equate that with time folded signal, and both has to be equal. If not, it is not an even signal. So, and for odd signal, the time folding should be equal to minus of original signal. And if for any signal, we can split that particular signal into two types, that is odd component and even component. So for original signal, that is x of t, will be having the combination of even and odd component. Even is xe of t plus odd signal x O of t, that is even component and odd component. Likewise for time folded signal, that is x of minus t, the component that would contain is xe of t, that is even component, and we have to subtract that odd component from the time folded signal, that is xe of t minus xo of t. So with the help of this signal, we can find a particular xe of t and xo of t. So normally we are having for equating the odd and even signals will be in a requirement of x of t and x of minus t, right? So in x of t also will be having two components, even and odd components. Likewise in folded time signal also will be having even and odd component. But the only difference is we are having sign change in these two equations. So if we want to get only the even component or the odd component from this x of t as well as x of minus t, we have to do some subtraction or addition on these two equations. If you are going to do such addition subtraction on these two equations, we will be getting even component and odd component. So we can, by using some manipulation on these two equations like addition and subtraction, we can get this xe of t as half of this summation of this two one. And for getting odd signal, we are going to have the half of the difference between these two signals. Here we are going to have addition, and here we are going to have subtraction. And the last one, this is very important as per the exam point of view, because we are having only this classification on our syllabus. So the last one is power and energy signals. So we are having a derivation for obtaining these equations, but we are not it is not mandatory, because we can expect only the problems, numerical problems on this topic. So straightly we are going to see the final equation for energy as well as power, for both continuous as well as for discrete time signals. Okay, and here we are having that E of infinity. It means the time indicates the infinite value, and the equation is limit time t tends to infinity over the integral of t minus t modulus of x of t the square into dt. And for discrete time signal, the same thing. We are going to have a limit for the entire length, that is duration on x-axis. Here for continuous time, the length on x-axis is capital T, but whereas for discrete time, the length on x-axis is capital N. So both has to be with the limit of infinity. Okay, and for continuous time signal, we have to take integration over that modulus value, modulus of original signal. But whereas for discrete time, we have to take summation. Here for continuous we are using integral, and here for discrete we are using summation. And this is the energy formula for continuous and discrete time signal, and this is the power of formula for continuous time signal. The same energy, and we all know the formula for energy and power. Power is nothing but energy divided by time taken. So here we are having energy divided by time taken. So time, in the sense the time t tends to infinity. In the sense we are focusing only on the positive half of the x-axis. Now we are going to consider the entire time axis. So we are having two axes, on positive x and negative x. So altogether we will be having 2t. So power formula is energy divided by time taken. So time here is 2t. This is the only difference between energy and power signal. Now we'll see the formula for discrete time signal, that is a power formula. The same here, the length of the x-axis, both on till positive infinity as well as till negative infinity. So here the length, the duration is capital N. So here on positive side there will be an 1 N, and for a negative side there will be another N. So altogether we will be having 2 N. But whereas for discrete time, we have to include the value present on the origin. That is at 0 we will be definitely having some value, because with respect to that value only we are going to perform some operations on this signal. So we have to include the value present on that particular origin value. So for indicating that inclusion of origin value, we are having +1 in next to this 2n. Okay, so these are all the formulas for finding power and energy signals. So these 4 are very, very important formulas. The only thing is we have to remember this energy formula. With that we can add this 2t, and for discrete we have to add 2n plus 1. And we all know power is equal to energy divided by time taken. So now we have to find one relation between this energy and power. If suppose we are getting some value for power signal, at that time the energy signal will be 0, because infinity, because if you are going to have only the power value, means we have to substitute the value of t as infinity. So what will happen? The time energy is equal to power into time taken. So any value into infinity will give infinity, so energy will be infinity. So it means we can say this type of values as this signal is having only, it is only a power signal, this is not an energy signal. Okay, likewise is consider that we are having only the for some particular constant value for energy, and for that constant value of energy, the power obviously will be 0, because if you are going to substitute the value of t as infinity, the power will be 0. Anything by infinity will give 0, so obviously the power is 0. So this type of signal we can say as an energy signal. And remember, one particular signal will not have both energy as well as power value. Okay, so if you are going to have only the value, some particular value, finite value for power, then at that time the energy should be of infinity, or else it means you are doing some mistake on the calculation. Okay, and one more relation is all periodic signals or power signals. Okay.